Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear. We're here at SHOT Show 2013 in Las Vegas, doing something a little bit different this year, trying to talk to some of the knife designers. And we're here now with one of my personal favorite designers, and that's the truth. I'm not just saying it because he's standing right next to me. Rick Hinderer. We're going to talk to him today about some of his Kershaw and zero tolerance knives. How you doing today, Rick?
Absolutely great. Doing fantastic. Having a great show.
We'll get some hand sanitizer lately. There's some nastiness going around.
SHOT Show time.
So talk to us about your new knives.
Okay, well, we can start off with, actually, since we're talking about from a designer standpoint, my Kershaw ZT offerings. Start off with the first one that I did with the collaboration I did with ZT is the 550. Obviously, this knife went over really well. This is based off of a design that I did that I actually didn't make that many of, which was my camp knife. Folding camp knife. That knife was like a 4-inch blade, and I went to Kershaw and about doing a new collaboration, and this is what we decided on for the very first one. Went off really well. Obviously, a lot of people out there really enjoyed the design. It's kind of a tank of a knife. It's it's got a lot of the features that my XM18 has, but yet it's different. So.
It's a big and beefy knife. I mean, there's definitely a good feel to it. It feels really solid in the hand, and the lockup is really, really strong.
Yeah, absolutely. As with the XM18, a lot of my knives, a lot of the things stemming from my fire department days was strength. The tool has to be able to work in the most harshest conditions. The ergonomics have to be there. That's a big thing with my knives and all of my designs. The ergonomics have to be there. I feel that if you have a knife that has hot spots and things like that, you're actually working against the tool instead of the tool working with you,
right? Which
makes the job a whole lot harder. And especially in the fire service, being a firefighter, you definitely don't want the tools working against you. The job's hard enough as it is. So a lot of that has gone over into my designs in my knives. And of course, ZT was a perfect fit for that because that's what they're known for as well. Really hard use type knives. So that started with the 550.
Now, I asked this to everybody. Do you have a specific use in mind when you design a knife, or are you just trying to make something that looks cool?
Well, obviously it goes beyond, the coolness is great, but yeah, a lot of it goes beyond that. The functionality, again, the ergonomics, the build quality, the quality materials, the blade steel, all of that goes into a tool that's going to make whatever job you're doing, whether it's military, law enforcement, firefighting, or just putting it in your pocket and using it. Even if you use that knife once out of the day, you want that job to be a whole lot easier because you have a knife that feels good and is going to cut great. Like edge geometry and things like that. So there's actually a lot of different things that go into a knife.
Sure.
The coolness when it actually comes down to the final design, obviously, to have a sexy looking knife or something that you can show your buddies and say, wow, check this out.
Right.
That has a lot to do with it. But at the same time, if you're losing the aspect of what the knife is for, it is a tool first and foremost.
Right.
So, and I think personally that the basic design, the basic functionality of the knife is cool in itself. It makes it cool.
Right. Yeah, first and foremost, it should be able to cut.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got to keep that in mind. It's a knife. It's a knife. So. The next one that we did at ZT, we followed it up with the 560, 561. This knife hit really big.
Yep.
At Blade Show, what's that, 2 years ago now? Anyway, so it hit really big. What this is pretty much I morphed the XM18, front part of the XM18. This part here is kind of like the XM18, which is obviously my very popular knife. And I morphed it with the back end of the 550. And what we did was we did a lot of new things with this knife in collaborating with ZT. Collaborations, I think, are really cool because it's not just me taking a design to Kershaw or ZT and saying, here, make my knife. We actually collaborate on a design. I look at the strong points that they're bringing to the table. We work together to come out with a product or a knife that everybody's really going to like. So it's an actual, especially for this knife, this is an actual collaboration piece. We took with what they're really good at, which is their machining, their quality, and we did a contoured handle on this, which is different than anything that I make, instead of a flat handle. So we contoured the handles, we made it as light as possible, because it's a pretty good sized knife. The blade is, it's a pretty long blade. So we wanted to make it really comfortable to carry, because again, if you got a big old clunky knife in your pocket, you're not going to want to carry it.
Right.
So we did all of that, premium materials, and when it came out, in fact, the blade forms thread on it was kind of like epic. It's still epic. The amount of posts that we had on it, very well anticipated. It's hit really big, and it's doing really well, which I'm thrilled at. I'm actually thrilled with.
That knife is the reason that I started selling Kershaw and Zero Tolerance. I saw it last year. I was like, that is fantastic. I have to have it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I think this knife also got a lot of other people, consumers, not just dealers as yourself, but a lot of consumers introduced to the Ziti Bram.
Oh, I meant that I had to have it for myself, not to sell.
Cool. Yeah, I couldn't wait till they got the prototype done myself. I was very lucky. I snagged one from Thomas at the Blade Show that year. I was like, okay, that one's mine. Put it in my pocket and carried it around for quite a while. Okay. So anyway, the 560, 561. The other one, I can't remember the model number. That's going to have the higher end one. It's going to have the composite blade with the carbon fiber.
The 777?
No, it's the 560, but with the composite blade, the carbon fiber, smooth carbon fiber.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, it's actually in that case right up there.
Really? Maybe we'll take a look at that later.
Yeah, that was brought out to Blade Show last year. So anyway, very cool knife. We went from here. In fact, I'll go ahead and go right into the 566, since it's pretty much a small version of this. The 566 is a new offering for this year. And what it was, when I did the 560, I knew that it was going to be a little bit of a big knife for the consumer. So what I knew right away that we were going to have to come out with a smaller knife, but the exact same pattern. So what I did was I came up with the 566, and what it is, I should open it properly. What it is it's a 3 1/4 inch blade length. So we got a little bit a shorter blade. Everything kind of shrunk down, redesigned so that it fits really good in the hand and everything. But it is the carryable EDC of the 560.
Sure.
This is so far has gone over huge at the show. Got a lot of really good feedback on it. There's a couple things we did. I didn't just want to shrink down the 560 and make it another 560 but smaller. What we wanted to do with talking with the guys at ZT is we wanted to make kind of a new spot in the catalog with this knife. So what we did is we went back to a flat handle, which means easier to machine, which means we're bringing that machine cost down, as well as putting speed safe in it, and which makes it really cool for especially a smaller knife and an EDC type knife. And but we still got the premium steel, the premium blade steel, but to bring the price point down, this is kind of like an entry for people that's not familiar with the ZT brand.
Right.
This is kind of an entry level for them.
Right.
This is 180 right around their MSRP, so street price is going to be $140, something like that.
Sure.
So really good price point. So you're going to be able to get into this really cool design at a really good price point that you're not going to be afraid to stick in your pocket and use it. And which means it's very pocket friendly because of the small size. What we did was on the lock side, instead of titanium, we went with stainless steel. So what that's going to give you is, again, it's very strong, it's really light, the balance is really good. So a lot of you don't be afraid of, because I know myself, I'm like, well, we go with stainless, it's going to raise the weight of the knife. It balances perfectly. You'll be really surprised when you pick this knife up.
It's still a relatively lightweight knife, especially compared to the rest of ZT.
Yes, absolutely. You're really going to, once you pick it up, don't reserve judgment on it until you pick it up and hold it, and you're going to be like, wow, okay, there's no problem with it. There's a lot of attributes with stainless over titanium in a lock side, so I think a lot of you are going to really like that. And of course, it has all the features. It's got the lock bar stabilizer, the quad mount clip, everything that my other designs have had. So it's filled with all of those features. Great little EDC, but yet at a price that you're not just going to want one of them. You're going to want two of them or three of them. One for the truck, one for the quad, one for your pocket, and a really good, easy to use knife.
Sure.
So new product for this year. I think it's going to go over great. We've already got a lot of really good feedback on it, and I'm excited about it.
I ordered a ton of them, so I'm a big fan of it already. And we're looking at probably late summer on these.
From what I'm hearing, that's what I'm hearing too after Blade Show.
Okay.
So this one here, I'm hoping to be able to, if Thomas isn't looking, kind of stick it in my pocket. So, okay. Next, we're going to get back to my other lines from last year.
Sure.
Last year, year before.
Okay.
My other knives, which is the Cryo. Cryo came out last year, actually SHOT Show last year. The Cryo is a nice little value, very much value point EDC knife. Last year it hit huge.
It's already their #1 knife, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. It was let's see, the second best-selling Amazon knife for Kershaw.
Wow.
Last year, and it hadn't been out the whole year, so it's going over big. Last year, the excitement surrounding the Kershaw booth was enormous with this knife, which really thrilled me. I was just tickled to death. I love the design is a little bit different. There's a lot of people say, well, that's kind of like the 560 or the 550. Well, what I say is, I have a certain design style. Most designers have a certain design style. So you're going to say, well, that knife looks like that knife, looks like that knife.
Well, it should. They all were designed by the same person.
Exactly. The design style. What I find works that I like in my design, I'm going to replicate that over different knives.
Right.
So this is kind of one of them. We wanted to do a nice small knife that you can put in your pocket. The price on it is a really good price. I can't remember, MSRP is around $50 or something.
$50 on it. Yep.
And so street price is going to be less, and a lot of people have been buying them. I heard that it was like from a lot of people that I know, it was the #1 stocking stuffer for this past Christmas.
That's fantastic.
So and again, it's a frame lock bar stabilizer. It's the lowest price knife out there that has my lock bar stabilizer, authorized lock bar stabilizer. So
the real one.
The real one, yeah. Beware of imitations. So anyway, again, it's gone over really well. Great design. There's going to be some variations, I'm thinking. I think there's a black one out there somewhere that I've seen. So I imagine with the popularity of this knife, you'll probably see some other stuff.
I want to see orange.
That would be cool.
Yes.
That would be cool. And if you drop it, you'll find it.
Yep.
And what we did, since the Cryo was so popular, last year we wanted to do a larger one. So thus the Cryo 2. Cryo 2 is a little bit longer blade, a little bit bigger knife. It's more of a hand-sized knife. And again, this is very much anticipated. I think a big reason is because we haven't gotten them out there yet. And that's the only reason for that is I changed up the prototype. The prototype came in, and I thought, there's just a little bit of a tweak that I want done, and let's do it. Let's come out with the best that we can possibly, come out with.
Yeah, take a little bit longer and make it right.
Absolutely. And it's great with the guys here at Kershaw and Ziti. They're right there. They're right there with me. Let's make it right. Let's come out with the best. That if there's any little thing, they've always said that if there's any little thing, let's change it up. So we did that. It pushed it back a little bit, but everybody is really going to appreciate it because this knife, again, you take what the Cryo 1 did, which is a really nice ergonomic, good feeling EDC. Take the Cryo 2, make it a bigger blade to where you can do maybe a little bit more chores with it, and it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a really good hit when they start hitting the street.
And MSRP on that one, I think it's still only $60?
Yeah, it's not that much more than the Cryo 1, so which is a great price.
It's a great value.
Yeah, a great value, and I appreciate. I know myself, everybody, the anticipation of this knife has been pretty big. Everybody's been waiting for it.
Right.
And the patience is running a little bit thin, but it's worth the wait. When you get it, you're really going to like it.
Sure. Okay.
And then the next one we're going back to a new offering for this year. And this one we're also really excited about. It's garnering a lot of attention. It's going to be a departure. What I talked about before is my design style kind of flowing through a lot of different knives. Well, this one here departs that a little bit. There's still a lot of hinder in the knife.
Right.
This knife is called the Thermite. And we kind of went off the Cryo theme. Cryo now, which is cold, now we're going hot. So the Thermite is a 3.5-inch blade knife. And what you're going to see right off the bat that's different is it's a linear. It's more of a linear type design.
Sure.
Whereas the 560s, like my XM18s, are more of a curvature type bottom. So you look at this, it's kind of more of a linear. So, but at the same time, there's some features, especially down through here, that are definitely Hinderer design, elements. It's things that I know that work. So, but what I wanted to accomplish was a knife. One thing about linear type knives is they fit very well in the pocket for their blade length. You can get a longer blade and it fits really nice in the back corner of your pocket. So that's what I wanted to do with the Thermite. I wanted to get a linear type design, fits well, put a longer blade in, which is a 3.5-inch blade, and we wanted to make it another good value-added knife. So we went overseas with this design. But let me tell you, what they did, they knocked it out of the park. The quality, everybody that's come up to the booth or to the stands here in the booth, one of the things that they've been telling me that they like a lot about this knife is they look at it like, wow, the quality is amazing.
The quality is amazing, and especially for the price. I mean, you can get some nice stuff made overseas, but you're talking about $200 or $300. It's $50 MSRP, right?
Yeah, $50 MSRP.
That's crazy.
And it's quad carry clip. It's got the lock bar stabilizer. It's got speed safe. It's got a Spanto blade. This is the first production model that's going to have my signature blade, which is a Spanto. You got all of these features in a street price knife of what, $40, $45. So I mean, it's really, really a big hit. I think
definitely.
And but there's some of the other features on it that's a little bit different. I don't know if you guys can see this at home, but what I did was I raised the jimping a little bit, the back of the knife. It's a little bit different design from what I usually do, and I followed through with a solid backspacer. A lot of you are familiar with my standoff type construction. What I did here was I did away with the standoffs and I went to a solid backspacer. So you can see the solid backspacer right there. So it's a little bit different, and I took and raised it up a little bit. And what it does is it gives you some sexy lines there, number one, but again, we always go back to performance. And so it gives you a little bit of a grip back in the palm of your hand because you've got this little bit raised bar back here. And it's not too much. It's hard to really feel it until you put it in your hand and you really start gripping down on it. But it gives you a little bit extra grip when you get it into your hand. But we got the G10 on the one side, which is probably ripe for pimping, and because a lot of guys have been doing that with their knives lately, especially the ZT knives. And again, it's just the big thing. That's what I wanted to cover: the Spanto, which means I came up with that term for a spear point with a tanto grind. And I've always liked tantos, and I might as well go ahead and explain the Spanto because some people don't know a lot about the whole design attributes of that. Yeah. What I wanted to do, I developed the Spanto grind years ago, but what I liked tantos for the toughness of the blade so that you can be able to pry with them and not have to break the tip. Yeah, tantos are known for that. But the problem is the front part of a tanto is kind of like useless as far as cutting.
Right.
So what I want to do is I took the spear point blade shape, which is a really usable because you got that belly.
Right.
And I just ground a tanto grind onto a spear point. So what that does is it takes and gives you that tip strength, but at the same time you've got that belly for cutting. So it's really the best of both worlds. And in the past, the only way that the consumer can be able to experience the Spanto blade is by an XM18.
Right.
And that's kind of tough. And so this is the first production for $50 MSRP. you can experience the Spanto blade and see for yourself just the versatility of that blade grind and that design.
I mean, it's a great knife and a great price point. That's a rare combination.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I think it's they've done very well this week with the rollout on this knife. I'm really anxious for it to get out there in the hands of everybody.
Sure.
Because ultimately, the real review is up as you guys. You guys buying these, putting your hard-earned dollars into these knives and getting them and using them and saying, wow, yeah, this was worth the money that I spent on it. And that tickles me. A lot of people know from my custom end, I like to see XM18s all used up and boogered up, and yeah, because that's all of the work that I put in as a designer. You won't be able to know that until you get the knife and you go out and use it.
Right.
That's when you're really going to say, wow, now I know why he did all that. So coolness factor with the coolness of ownership is great. When you get out there and use it, especially this knife with the Spanto and everything, you're going to find it's going to be a great knife.
Any idea when we can expect that guy and the Cryo 2 to actually start shipping?
The Cryo 2, and I didn't get any dates from the guys on it. The Cryo 2 is in production right now, so hopefully very soon.
Okay.
Maybe end of first quarter, I'm hoping. The Thermite, again, I really couldn't say. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to anybody about that.
I think they already talked about making a couple tweaks here and there, and
yeah. A lot of that we tweaked where the thumb stub is going to replace and stuff like that. But the tooling's probably going to be getting cut, so I'm hoping pretty soon.
Excellent. I'm excited to see it.
I am too. I can't wait.
I ordered a bunch of those too.
Fantastic. I think they'll probably go pretty quick.
Yeah,
the Cryos went really well when they first came out. A lot of dealers sold out very quickly on the Cryo. So I would imagine this is probably, with the excitement that we've already seen here at the show and online, I think these are going to go pretty quickly as well. Again, for the money, you can't go wrong.
Knife. Yeah,
you can't
definitely
go wrong. Absolutely. Well, I think
that's everything.
I think that's everything.
All right.
From what we covered. We're going to have new stuff coming out. This relationship's doing great, and we've already been in talks. So I'm going to keep working. I love designing knives. I love making knives. I just love knives.
You going to show us some new stuff at Blade?
Yeah, I think so. I know personally I'm going to probably have some new stuff, and we'll see what we have on the Kershaw side.
Okay, we'll talk to you again then.
Fantastic.
All right,
nice
thanks, Rick.
talking to you. Thanks. Yep, take care.